Animation has been used in many works to produce the illusion of motion in synthetic images. Various techniques have been used over the years as innovations have been made. In evolutionary terms, animation branched off from standard film recording when someone drew a chalk figure on a board and caused the camera to change its facial expression. The next technique was celluloid sheets. Celluloid is a material that is transparent as glass, so animators were able to keep parts of the previous frame and only draw over what they needed to and keep backgrounds throughout a scene. This greatly reduced drawing time and material use. Because of the advantages of this technique, chalkboard animation quickly fell out of use and was replaced by celluloid sheet animation. Meanwhile, computers were becoming increasingly fast and powerful. The next advance in animation came when someone wrote code that could render three-dimensional objects polygon by polygon to a high or low degree of photorealism. This allows animators to easily manipulate fine details and move characters and objects from scene to scene effortlessly. At some point in time, someone thought of a process now known as sprited animation. Sprited animation is a process in which all characters are drawn doing every required motion in a loop, and the frames from these loops, as well as a background, are simply put into position on top of each other to render a frame. Although this process was never widely used to create movies, the sprites could be saved as images on a computer, and sprited animations could be rendered as fast as they were viewed, allowing the computer to make them interactive. The viewer could press buttons that would control the animation. This was the birth of video games. Further advances in computer technology allowed polygons to be drawn in very high quantities in less than a 30th of a second. This enables real-time animation. Frames are completely redrawn as quickly as they are viewed. One use of real-time animation is video games taking place in a three-dimensional environment, either attempting photorealism or using special shaders to attempt to mimic the cartoony look of older forms of animation. Another form of real-time animation is flash animation. There's probably a more proper name for it, but I don't know of it. Flash animation is a process in which sprites are drawn, but saved as polygons. The vertices can then be moved to create keyframes, and animation can then be played back at any speed or size by calculating the position of vertices between frames. Animators can manipulate the sprites in any way and are not stuck with the same loops to render everything, and in addition can very easily move sprites from scene to scene, or even put more than one of the same sprite in one scene using just a few clicks. This process is much easier than other forms of animation and is in high use on the internet. However, it does not always produce as high quality animation and thus is not used in movie theaters or on television.